Did you know that no amount of money is worth your time? I've said it plenty of times. I'll say it again. No amount of money is worth all of your time. You might get to the end of life and then go, wait a minute, where's my time? And not realizing that over the past 10, 20, 30, for some people 40 plus years, you've sold all of your time to the highest bidder. And because they were able to afford your time, you no longer possess it, right? And so you might look up and go, wait a minute, here I am 45. What have I been doing for the last 20 years? Well, you've been doing what the 90% do, which is sell your time for money. And so now you do not have the time and probably very little money. So you don't have the time, you probably have very little money, and you're not where you want to be, right? Very few through a job, because I'll be straight up with you. By the way, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, welcome to the channel. I'll be straight up with you. Very few people through a job is going to gain financial freedom. It's just not going to happen. Jobs aren't designed to do that. Reason I know that is because if financial freedom was guaranteed, like the jobs are going to pay you enough money to where you become financially free, then who's going to be at work? Right? So if the jobs are going to give you enough money to where you just got it, right? Who's coming to work for 20, 30, 40 years? No, if they pay you too much money, the only thing they guarantee is that you won't be at work tomorrow. And so the companies know that. I know that. Any business owner knows that. So we're not going to pay you enough. Where do you think? That's why the companies that make all of this profit, the profit just goes somewhere else. They only allocate a certain amount to pay you, because if they overpaid you, they wouldn't have you. And so these companies are not going to overpay you. They're not going to pay you what you're worth, right? They're going to pay you what you're worth to them. They're not going to pay you what you believe and know that you're worth. These companies don't care about that. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just telling you, if you go through this life trading time for money, that's the worst way to possibly live. You've wasted your life. You've wasted your life. And there are 90% of people out there in the world today who are wasting their lives away because they still believe that you got to have a paycheck. You got to have safe, secure jobs. Somebody commented on one of my videos, just blew my mind. They were like, you're wrong. There is a such thing as a safe, secure job. And I'm going, what? What are you talking about? There is no such thing as a safe, secure job. These companies don't give a damn about you when it comes to the bottom line, which is the red line, right? When it comes to the bottom line of company revenue, you're a liability. If I own the company and you're making too much money and you're affecting my bottom line, and I could find someone who would do it for less, I could find somebody who's willing to work harder and get paid less. So, listen, if you think that it's a coincidence that the borders of this country are wide open, then you're only fooling yourself. This is intentional. The reason I know it is because these are the new laborers for America. America needs a new workforce. And so what better place to get them than foreign countries where people are willing to work for minimum wage? You don't think that the companies, if I'm not mistaken, it might have been Tyson Chicken. You don't think that that company is aware, that the higher ups are aware that they have illegal people working in the plant? You think that escaped them? They don't know that. They know everything. But somehow they miss that. And then so if these other companies are looking and going, wait, you guys got caught? Okay, gotcha. What'd they do to you? Oh, they just gave us a fine and slapped us on the wrist. Oh, so there no jail time? Okay. They didn't take you out and beat you? Nope. Just slap you on the wrist? Okay, gotcha. So that's all they're doing? Okay, bring them in. That's what these companies are doing. Bring them in. Why? Because they're just slapping people on wrist. So the illegal people that come into the country, they're going to be looking for jobs, right? They're going to be willing to work for whatever they're offered for. The jobs are offered at. They're not going to form unions. They don't need insurance. They don't need workman's comp. They don't need anything. They don't need anything that the system requires. Do it as long as you can, And then eventually when you get caught, because nobody's going to try to get you caught, right? Everybody's benefiting all the way up to Wall Street. So is Tyson Chicken a publicly traded company? If the answer, I don't know. But if the answer is yes, and they're not a private company, but the answer is yes, then that means that the money is flowing all the way to Wall Street. There aren't gonna be any whistleblowers. Everybody's getting rich because the company doesn't have to save a lot of money. I'm sorry, the company doesn't have to spend a lot of money, right? So, but probably a red flag goes up when all these companies say, hey, cancel all of our insurance. So, but like I said, guys, at the end of the day, you cannot go through this life trading time for money. That's the worst way to live. That, I call that prison, because the money's not even worth it. The money's not even worth the time. I was just talking to one of my business partners, and I said, hey, listen, you can go through life and get wealthy. Sure, you're a millionaire, right? You got $1 million in the bank, $1 million sitting on your lap, whatever. And then you look up and go, man, I'm rich, I got $1 million, but my kids are grown. What? Yeah, my kids are grown. What do you mean? I didn't see them grow up. They're grown now. I can't go back and fly a kite with my son. I can't take my daughter for a stroller ride. Those things are gone. I'm here to tell you that the most important things in life is spending time with your family and those you love. If you have kids, spending time with your kids. If you don't have kids, spending time doing the things that you enjoy doing around the people you enjoy being around. Think about that. So no amount of money is worth giving that up, because I know people, I've seen people sacrifice, I'm telling you, and it's worked. It's worked. My wife, to use an example, my wife, her parents, went to college years ago, right? Got degrees, got what was called safe, secure jobs then. Worked for 10, 20, 30, 40 years up to retirement. They sacrificed, because what they did, getting the degree and getting good jobs then and holding those jobs, the sacrifice was, hey, you've got to stay in this position to make sure that your kids can have the freedoms and the money to do the things that they want to do in life. So because of what her parents did, my wife was able to go to college and get a degree. Her brothers were able to go to college and get degrees because of the sacrifice the parents made. So I don't ever want to overlook that, right? So, but those sacrifices happened, and these kids were able to benefit from that, and that was a good thing. But I'm here to tell you that it cost them a lot to be able to do that. Now, if you want to do that, that's fine. But if you're in a position where, because college doesn't guarantee anything now anyways, they were able to go off and go to college and have success, but college they're not rich, and college doesn't guarantee them anything. And number two, their 401ks have taken a beating over the past 3 to 5 years. So again, if you go through life trading your time for money, that is a very hard way to live. You will miss out on living. I know you love your family, you love your friends, you want to be around as much as possible. I get all of that. But you're going to miss out on living. Life's going to pass you by. My kids, I look at them now and I go, wait a minute, all of a sudden these kids are going to be teenagers. All of a sudden these kids are going to be adults. And what if I make a bunch of money, but I never see that? I never get to see them grow up. I never get to see them have success. I never get to see them enjoy life. I never get to see them do any of that. What if that happens? What if that happens and these things happen and you don't get to see your kids enjoy life? You don't get to see your kids do the things that, they want to do. You miss all that time, and then you wake up and you know what? I'm older now. I'm tired. I'm beaten up. And you miss life. By the way, if you want to get into the free live training, I'm going to be doing a free live training coming up, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Texas. And if you give me about an hour, I'm going to teach you how to start a business from your phone, a middleman business, where you don't do any of the work. You simply get customers, get paid, and then dispatch the work to service providers, service professionals in your area, and let them do all the work. For example, when whenever I first started in 2020, I was dispatching for the moving service. So I was using my phone to get customers for moving companies. Customers would reach out to me. I would go ahead and book the customers, and then I would take a payment from the customer, deposit, that's my money, and then I would send the information to other moving companies in the area, and then someone would take the work and go out and do it. So I never had to leave the house. I never did any of the work. And that, in my first year in 2020, I ended up making $77,000. So not bad. And so this year is a whole lot better. But again, I just want to teach you how to use your phone to make money, because I understand that life is all about time more than it's about anything else. So you can make a lot of money, but if you miss out on things you're going to enjoy in life, you miss out on your family growing up, you miss out on the things you should have been doing, you don't get to redo that. You don't get to run it back. You can run money back. Hey, I lost all that money. I know there's some things you can do to get money back. It'll be back. There's plenty of it. It's everywhere. So, but hey, I missed, my son being 5, and yeah, you don't get that back. You got to live with that regret that you didn't get to do those things. But that's why I always tell you that life and time is that important. So get the money, yes, but don't sell your entire life and not get to enjoy life. Working for a paycheck for 40 years, that's a hard way to die, because it ain't living, it's dying. So if you want to get into the training, put middleman in the comments below. Middleman. And then you're going to get a link to join me in the free live training. If you do not get the link, that means that we are out of spaces. And but get there early. Put middleman in the comments below, and we're going to go ahead and teach you how to use your phone to make money. So think about it. If you did what I did in 2020, just the first year, and you were able to make $77,000, even half of that, how much would that help you? Because you didn't have to go to work to do that. Think about that. That's freedom. All right, guys, I got to go. I'm in a car wash. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, tell somebody about the videos. See you in the training. Put middleman in the comments below. See you in the live training. Peace.